Beyond Model Risk Management SR 11-7. Why legacy compliance won't stop the 2026 AI liability. Why relying on Model Risk Management SR 11-7 is a dangerous strategy in the era of the EU AI law. For over a decade, Model Risk Management SR 11-7 has been the North Star for risk officers in the U.S. banking sector. Established by the Federal Reserve and the OCC, it provided a robust framework for validating the conceptual soundness of quantitative models. If your bank adhered to SR 11-7, you were generally considered to be in a safe harbor regarding the oversight of automated decision-making. However, as we move through 2026, the landscape has fundamentally shifted. While Model Risk Management SR 11-7 was designed for the world of static, predictive analytics, it was never built to handle the dynamic, non-deterministic nature of generative AI and autonomous agents. Relying solely on this legacy framework to protect your institution from the upcoming enforcement of the EU AI law on August 2nd, 2026 is not just a gap in strategy. It is a recipe for systemic financial exposure. The fundamental shift from validation to execution. The core limitation of Model Risk Management SR 11-7 is that it focuses primarily on the design and validation of the model itself. It asks, is the math sound? In contrast, the emerging global standards, anchored by the EU's mandates, focus on runtime execution and agentic accountability. In our recent analysis, Safe AI, the 2026 executive mandate, we explored how innovation is no longer enough. Your AI must be operationally defensible at the moment of execution. The EU AI law, becoming enforceable on August 2nd, 2026, classifies most banking workflows as high risk. These regulations require more than just a periodic model validation report. They require real-time policy enforcement and a deterministic guarantee that the AI cannot bypass corporate or legal boundaries. If your bank is still treating AI governance as a documentation exercise under Model Risk Management SR 11-7, you are likely accumulating what we call Cost of Compliance Digital Neglect, CoDN. The Brussels effect on U.S. bank stacks. A common mistake among U.S.-only finance companies is believing that domestic adherence to Model Risk Management SR 11-7 provides immunity from global regulations. As we noted in the global gravity of the EU AI law, the EU Act is the new technical anchor for the entire industry. Tier 1 technology vendors are building their 2026 stacks to meet the most stringent requirements. If your bank's infrastructure is built on legacy SR 11-7 protocols, while your vendors move toward the EU's deterministic standards, you create a governance friction that stalls innovation and leaves you open to the regulatory hammer. The legacy framework simply does not address the completion gap, the dangerous space between an AI's conversational output and a finalized, compliant business transaction. Without a completion and compliance layer, your SR 11-7 validated model can still produce unowned, non-compliant outcomes in the real world. Why the August 2nd, 2026 deadline changes everything. On August 2nd, 2026, the definition of an AI failure changes from a customer service glitch to a systemic legal violation with penalties tied to global turnover. Unlike Model Risk Management SR 11-7, which is largely supervisory and qualitative, the new era of law is quantitative and punitive. To survive this transition, banks must move from model governance to workflow governance. This requires deterministic execution, decoupling AI intent from the actual transaction, runtime controls, enforcing policy gates before an action is finalized, structural auditability, capturing more than just chat logs to satisfy 2026 auditors. Summary: scaling beyond the Fed's legacy. While Model Risk Management SR 11-7 remains a critical component of banking stability, it is no longer a complete solution for AI risk. In the age of autonomous agents and the August 2nd, 2026 enforcement cliff, your safe harbor has become a latent liability. Organizations that fail to bridge the gap between their legacy compliance models and the new deterministic mandates are carrying a compounding debt of cost of compliance digital neglect. Innovation is only an asset if it can survive an audit in a hyper-regulated global market. Is your compliance stack stuck in the past? Don't guess on your 2026 liability exposure. Use our specialized risk estimator to run the numbers, identify your CoDN, and build a truly defensible foundation for the agentic era. CoDN.colvu.com